Good evening and welcome. I will read to you a story, or I will tell you a story that I just read about in a book called You Just Don't Understand Women and Men in Conversation by Deborah Tannen, PhD. All right. Son, listen to this story. One man gets divorced, so his friend invites him to climb a mountain. To get, so he won't be crying. Okay. And of course, the friend is married and he takes his own wife, right? So they climbed a mountain, and then I'm going to call him George. The book is called Gordon, but I'm going to call him George. George is the one that's divorced, and he forgets his red bag. Let's just say it's a red bag, a pretty red bag, on top of the mountain. So Larry and Linda, they're sitting down to rest halfway down the mountain, and George said, I forgot my bag. So Larry says, I'll go get it for you since you just told me that your feet are sore, right? He's not accustomed. So Linda also climbs the mountain back to the top, but she gets tired halfway up or 3/4 up, and so she stops there. Then Larry goes all the way to the top and back down to Linda. And she says, where's the bag? And he said, Linda, I didn't want to tell you, but I saw another climber, mountain climber, carrying it down the mountain when we first stopped down to rest. And she said, why didn't you say anything? I didn't want George to get upset, that I was too stupid to mention it and say, George, there goes your red bag.
You guys stole it?
No, well, if you leave it up there, somebody will take it down, right? And say, hey, someone forgot this up there, if they can. And Linda says, this is a story that I've never have imagined. Why did you choose to climb the mountain and make me climb after you halfway or 3/4? Well, I had to do something. He said, I didn't want to tell George, oh, I saw another mountain climber take the bag.
Wow.
Would you ever do something like that? Well, I did. The other day, last year, maybe 2 years ago, I went to visit your wife's cousin. No, my wife's cousin, right? As usual, every day, right? And I knew the gate was open. But he said, no, the backyard gate is locked. So, in order not to offend him, I knew it was open. I walked around to the front of the house. But I had been there earlier, and I knew that the gate, he didn't lock it. But he said, no, it's locked. Then I told him, come and see. But he wouldn't move. He said, it's locked. He was completely wrong, and he was, what is it called? He was sure that he was right. But I said, okay, you're wrong. It doesn't hurt me. I'll just walk around. Even though I know the gate is open. These are things people do for what reason? Yeah. Why argue with them, Yo, man, I know you left the gate open. It's locked. No, you didn't. You locked the chain to itself. You didn't lock it around. So you're right. Instead of arguing with him, I said, I'll go through the air conditioning. All right. Why don't you start reading then, son? Yes, but if we think about it, when do you want to read? You think I felt like washing dishes right now for about 30 minutes? Hmm? Why didn't I feel like doing it? What is la cuarta lora? You don't know? Oh, my son. This is a treasure I picked up when I was 24, 25 years old. There was an old man selling 4 parrots. This is a Spanish joke. The 4th parrot is the and the okay, you know, yes, the most expensive, and all right, so I'll tell you the joke in Spanish again. I'll tell you in English. All right, there was an old man selling 4 parrots. The first parrot, they were each above a branch, above the other. The youngest parrot is on the lowest branch, and a young man says, "How much for that one?" This is in Honduras, where the language is Spanish. But many people there want to speak English also. It opens their doors to find better work and better jobs and things. So the old man said, "That one is $5,000. It speaks English." "Wow," said the young man, "I need that one." But then his curiosity gets to him. He said, "What about the second parrot?" "That one speaks Spanish and English." "Oh, that's the one I need." You know, so I can, and it's $10,000. And the third one, 15,000. It answers the telephone, speaks French, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, English, Italian, you name it. It drives a car. It can drive an airplane. It types letters. It takes dictation. You know, it's 1,000 skills, 15,000. Wow. What about the old one, the old parrot with no feathers that's sleeping? "Oh, that one's worth 20,000. "Why so much? It cannot do all the things, does it?" "And it doesn't do anything," says the old man. "Oh, why is it so expensive?" And the old man says, "That's the boss."
Oh, so the other parents would do anything if the boss wasn't there.
The boss, no, it's not that they don't do anything. It's the boss. For instance, the soldiers. You think these generals are able to outrun these young soldiers? You think these generals can do more push-ups than the young soldiers? You think the generals can shoot better than these young ones? All right, that's a tough one to answer, yes. All right. What can I do? All right, in Tolstoy's book, remember the shoemaker? He was walking to buy a winter coat because he used to share it with his wife. So he finally had what he thought was enough money to buy a second winter coat. But when he got to the store, someone didn't pay him. And so when he got to the store, he didn't have enough money. So he spent it on alcohol. And he was walking back home when he sees, on a frozen night, he sees, with snow on the ground, a naked man sitting on the snow. He passed him 10 paces, and then he turned around to make sure that he had seen what he had seen. A naked man sitting in the snow. He took off his coat, he took off his shoes, and he helped the shivering man come to his own house. Now he was a shoemaker, so in 6 years later, the young man, I'll say he's young, right? The naked man becomes a better shoemaker than the old man, whose hands start trembling, can't see anymore, takes twice as long to finish the shoes. And yet, 6 years earlier, he was the one that could do all of these wonderful things. My point is that when you get older, sometimes the younger men will be able to defeat you. But, like my grandpa, he could line men up and he would look at them, and the fat man, he'd say, just go to the kitchen and cook. He's not going to do anything else. You know, he's too lazy. The strong one, you carry the flag. Everybody else will drop it. The long legs, take this message to the other general at the base. Run. So, right? No email back then. And then the next one, the short one, he would say, or the disobedient one, not short or tall, the disobedient one. You could look at it by the way he was standing. Go, come back at midnight. That was the only thing. Go wherever you want to go, but come back at midnight. He was the one in charge of the bombs. Would you believe he was disobedient in everything except he would say, why does he want me to come back at midnight? He wouldn't tell him. But he was the explosives expert. He was chosen for that ability. Two things would happen. If he learned, he would be an expert at blowing things up. And if he didn't, he'd blow himself up. Right? He wouldn't have to deal with that. I'm adding that. Go ahead, miss. I need to cut the grass for Norma. Yes. So my point is, the younger men can do some things that the old men cannot do. But the old men are the bosses. And they just hire young people that are able to do things that the old men don't want to do anymore. So that was the La Cuarta Lora. I wanted to become La Cuarta Lora. Now I have become La Cuarta Lora. You see? It's just amazing that by cutting grass, mosquito? Well done. Francisco y Doña Adriana. No, that was 20. And then 30 from Veronica. So, well, which shoes? Well, I need to buy bicycle tires, and it's just $50. Bicycles in the garage. No,
Cómprate una
two
bicicleta que
tires.
solo cuesta 100.
Two tires. No, we have enough bicycles. All they need is bicycle tires.
Y no hay tanta bicicleta.
All of them have old bicycle tires. Alright, let me ask you a question. Where is my bicycle? Okay, you walk away. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You had a brilliant bicycle. You found that orange bicycle. You gave it away. Sí, y mi bicicleta que me dio Sheila, que estaba nuevecita. ¿Tú también me lo viste?
The wheel fell off. Or the pedal.
Bueno,
The pedal.
¿tú ves el peso tú? ¿Qué bicicleta va a durar? Con el peso que tú tienes.
Well,
Tienes que comprarte una bicicleta industrial.
all of this comes back to where is my bicycle that I had in the shed? What did you do with it? No,
It's not worth the
white. No, but all, yes, all it needed was tires. That's because it was a long time ago that did you do something? Yes, I think you did something. Alright, so no complaints. No complaints. No. Okay, I use your bicycle,
No, you don't use my bicycle. You are big for my bicycle.
yes.
Okay?
Where is
You
my
need
bicycle?
to buy a bicycle, industrial bicycle. Like los viejos que usan así.
Alright, with 3 wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, what the one is your You can buy it too.
No, but let's go to Model to get it.
Wait, you have enough money to buy one like that? Lo voy a poner en una plástica y otra vez lo tapo con el
What are you talking about, Anna?
el pollo que hice ahorita.
Chicken.
No, esa es la bicycle.
Put it wherever you think is best. I gave you a Tupperware for the rice. You know they have little buckets for food. At Walmart. Not as big as a 5-gallon bucket. I'm talking about a bucket like this. Just cover it and that's Tupperware. So what did you say, son, about the bicycle?
I said, save up for a new bike. 3-wheeler. That is really what it is. ¿Cuánto cuesta? $200?
300, 400. See you later on. Well, if we're gonna do that, we might as well get the bunk beds too.
Bunk beds, okay.
She's gonna keep them over there?
No, yo no quiero una casa porque no tenemos un techo. Bunk beds, okay.
Well, the bottom one could be just as big as this, and if we make it, it's just the same. Well, that's the problem. The fan would have to move somehow. So, son, come and read then. Put that away, son. This is not the time. I don't know where he is. Well, if you really want a bicycle, get one for 2 people.
Yo, those bikes are so old. Dos personas salen por nada.
Why not?
How do you even steer those?
Only the first person steers.
But they twice the power.
Well, you pedal and I pedal.
So twice the power.
I don't know. Just go to the bathroom.
You know, I would never try to do this. Oh,
You know, for $400, yes, I want one with a basket with 3 wheels. But I could have an electric scooter for that. No, for that $400 from Sears. One of those you sit a little bit, put your feet on it, and it's got electric power. You have a scooter that we need to fix.
I think it's past fixing.
No, it's not. We could open up a scooter repair shop. God bless you and those that survive.